In 1865, a group of shinty players met at the Clinton Arms on Nottingham's Shakespeare Street. J.S. Scrimshaw's proposal to play association football instead was agreed and Nottingham Forest Football Club was formed. Forest's first ever official game was played against Notts County, taking place on the 22nd of March 1866. In the 1878-79 season, Forest entered the FA Cup for the first time. Forest beat Notts County 3-1 in the first round at Beeston Cricket Ground before eventually losing 2-1 to Old Etonians in the semi-final. Forest's application was rejected to join the Football League at its formation in 1888. Forest instead joined the Football Alliance in 1889. Forest won the Football Alliance in 1892 before then entering the Football League in that same year. In the 1898 FA Cup final versus Derby County, at Crystal Palace before 62,000 fans, Willie Wragg passed a 19th-minute free kick to Arthur Capes. Capes shot through the defensive wall to score. Derby equalised with a free kick headed home by Steve Bloomer off the underside of the crossbar after 31 minutes. In the 42nd minute, Jack Fryer was unable to hold a Charlie Richards shot, giving Capes a tap-in for his second goal. Wragg's injury meant Forest had to change their lineup, with Capes dropping back to midfield. In the 86th minute, John Bogue headed away a corner by Forest. John McPherson moved in to collect, shooting low into the goal to win their first FA Cup 3-1. After a fourth-placed finish in the 1900-01 Football League season, the club then started to slide down the table. Forest were relegated for the first time in 1905-06. In 1919, the Football League First Division was to be expanded from 20 clubs to 22 in time for the 1919-20 Football League season. Forest were one of 8 clubs to campaign for entry but received only 3 votes. Arsenal and Chelsea gained the 2 additional top-tier slots. In a turnaround from the first 6 seasons struggling back in the second division, Forest were promoted as champions in 1921-22. They survived each of the first 2 seasons back in the top flight by 1 position. However, in the third season after promotion they were relegated as the division's bottom club in 1924-25. They remained in the second tier until relegation again in 1949 to the Football League Third Division for the first time in their history. Forest spent 2 years in the third tier and 6 years in the second tier before promotion and regained their first division status by 1957. Forest beat Luton Town 2-1 in the 1959 FA Cup final. Like in 1898, Forest had lost heavily to their opponents only weeks earlier in the league. Stuart Imlich crossed for a 10th-minute opener by Roy Dwight, the cousin of Reg Dwight, better known as Elton John. Tommy Wilson had Forest 2-0 up after 14 minutes. The game had an unusually large number of stoppages due to injury, particularly to Forest players. This was put down to the lush nature of the Wembley turf. The most notable of these stoppages was Dwight breaking his leg in a 33rd-minute tackle with Brendan McNally. Forest had been on top until that point. Luton though gradually took control of the match, with Dave Pacey scoring midway through the second half. Forest were reduced to 9 fit men with 10 minutes remaining. Despite late Alan Brown and Billy Bingham chances, Chick Thompson conceded no further goals to win the FA Cup. Brian Clough became manager of Nottingham Forest on 6 January 1975, 12 weeks after the end of his 44-day tenure as manager of Leeds United. Forest lost only 3 of their first 16 league games, the last of which was at Leeds United on 19 November 1977. They lost only 1 further game all season, the 11th of March FA Cup 6th round defeat at West Bromwich Albion. Forest won the 1977-78 Football League 7 points ahead of runners-up Liverpool. Forest became one of the few teams, and the most recent team to date, to win the First Division title the season after winning promotion from the Second Division. This made Clough the third of 4 managers to win the English League Championship with 2 different clubs. Forest conceded just 24 goals in 42 league games. On 9 December 1978, Liverpool ended Forest's 42-match unbeaten league run dating back to November the year before. The unbeaten run was the equivalent of a whole season, surpassing the previous record of 35 games held by Burnley in 1920-21. The record stood until surpassed by Arsenal in August 2004, a month before Clough's death. Arsenal played 49 league games without defeat. In February 1979, Taylor authorised the English game's first £1 million transfer, signing Trevor Francis from Birmingham City. Forest beat Malmö 1-0 in Munich's Olympia Stadion in the 1979 European Cup final. Francis, on his European debut, scored with a back post header from Robertson's cross to win their first European Cup. Forest beat Hamburg from West Germany 1-0 in the 1980 European Cup final at Madrid's Santiago Bernabeu Stadium to retain the trophy. On the 21st minute, John Robertson squeezed a shot past Hamburg keeper Rudi Kargas for the only goal of the game, and Forest then defended solidly, to give Nottingham Forest back-to-back European Cup titles. The victory also meant that Forest became the first club that had won the European Cup more times than the domestic First Division. In the 1991-92 season, Forest finished 8th in the league to earn a place in the new FA Premier League. On 16 August 1992, Forest beat Liverpool 1-0 at home in the first ever Premier League game to be televised live, with Teddy Sheringham scoring the only goal of the match. A week later, Sheringham moved to Tottenham. Forest's form slumped, and Brian Clough's 18-year managerial reign ended in May 1993 with Forest relegated from the inaugural Premier League. The final game of that season was away at Ipswich. Forest lost 2-1 with Clough's son, Nigel, scoring the final goal of his father's reign. Relegation was followed by Keane's £3.75 million British record fee transfer to Manchester United. Frank Clark from Forest's 1979 European Cup winning team returned to the club in May 1993, succeeding Brian Clough as manager. Clark brought immediate return to the Premier League when the club finished Division 1 runners-up at the end of the 1993-94 season. Forest finished third in 1994-95 and qualified for the UEFA Cup, their first entry to European competition in the post-Hassel era. Forest reached the 1995-96 UEFA Cup quarter-finals, the furthest an English team reached in UEFA competition that season. They finished 9th in the league. 34-year-old captain Stuart Pearce was installed as player-manager on a temporary basis just before Christmas in 1996, and he inspired a brief upturn in the club's fortunes. However, in March 1997 he was replaced on a permanent basis by Dave Bassett and left the club that summer after 12 years. Notts Forest were unable to avoid relegation and finished the season in bottom place. They won promotion back to the Premier League at the first attempt, being crowned Division 1 champions in 1997-98. Bassett was sacked in January 1999, with Ron Atkinson replacing him. Ron Atkinson was unable to prevent Forest from once again slipping back into Division 1, and announced his retirement from football management when Forest's relegation was confirmed on 24 April 1999, with 3 weeks of the Premier League season still to play. The 2004-05 season saw Forest drop into the relegation zone once more. Gary Megson was appointed as manager in the new year. Megson had already won 2 promotions to the Premier League with his previous club West Bromwich Albion, having arrived at the club when they were in danger of going down to Division 2, but failed to stave off relegation as the club ended the season second from bottom in 23rd place, becoming the first European Cup winners ever to fall into the domestic third division. Colin Calderwood achieved automatic promotion in his second year at the club, following an impressive run which saw Forest win 6 out of their last 7 games of the season, culminating in a dramatic final 3-2 win against Yeovil at the City Ground. Forest kept a league record of 24 clean sheets out of 46 games, proving to be the foundation for their return to the second tier of English football and leaving them just one more promotion away from a return to the Premier League. Forest have since stayed in the second tier of English football for 13 years since 2008.